Yvette, there's something I need to ask you.
Oh, René, after all this time, is there a ring involved?
You tell me. No. Wait, what I mean is, I am still missing some important details. Purely in the interest of historical accuracy, you understand. But what exactly did you do with the Germans when you took them upstairs?
René, there was a war on. What I did for France.
And also for butter, sugar, and paraffin.
And don't forget your cigarettes.
Well, but look, for instance, what exactly did you do with the feather duster?
Oh, I cannot say. I will have to write it down.
Oh. Really?
Oh.
Well, I never. I did not know you spelt that like that.
Yes.
Really?
Oh.
If I knew it was going to be that hard, I would have asked for 2 gallons of paraffin.
Oh. But René, we had to keep the wicks burning for France.
Well, you certainly did.
René, will I ever find happiness?
As long as you do not aim too high.
Will we be together always?
As long as you tend the bar, clean the tables, and generally make yourself useful later in the back room.
I will start there first. Oh, René.
Forgive me.
This is the return of Allo Allo. Still to come, a copper comes a cropper up a tree.
The copper.
I say, is anyone down there?
Who's that banging on René's back door?
Listen, there is knocking in the back room.
And the fallen Madonna lands in the hands of this old man. This is the return of Allo Allo.
Quintessentially British, Allo Allo was a heady mix of high farce,
Follow that nin.
double entendre,
Oh, René, do you not take for me just a little bit?
From time to time, I do get a little bit stiff, but I put it...
ridiculous wordplay,
The troon carrying the sausage has been bummed by the RAF.
and the most stunning location antics ever seen on a British sitcom. Allo Allo ran for 9 years, accumulating 86 episodes, and at its peak was attracting over 17 million viewers. The series has sold to more countries than previous top-selling exports Monty Python and Fawlty Towers,
What do you want?
Listen very carefully. I shall say this only once.
making it one of the most successful BBC sitcoms in history.
Is the character based on your own sadistic personality?
Yes.
Allo Allo was the crowning achievement of comedy veterans David Croft and Jeremy Lloyd, who had already collaborated on the now classic 70s series, Are You Being Served? But in 1982, the writing duo were working on ideas for their next sitcom hit.
The idea for Allo Allo came after finishing doing Are You Being Served? I sort of was daydreaming and suddenly thought, well, why don't we do something about the French resistance? And I phoned him up, not realising it was 12 o'clock at night, because he goes to bed at about 9. And so he woke up and said, what is it? I said, why don't we not do this show we're doing and do the French resistance instead? Small cafe or something like that, you know, excitement and drama. He said, we'll start tomorrow, good night. And so we started the next day.
I think in about 3 days we'd written a script, and it was joy to write all the time. And of course Jeremy is a superb comedy writer. Humour just pours out of him. He's a funny man.
Having cast Gordon Kay in 3 guest appearances in the Grace Brothers department store, the jobbing actor was now lined up for his first starring role.
I'd had a phone call from my agent who said, I've been talking to David Croft and I've got this wonderful script. It's called Hello, Hello. It's set in a little French cafe and that's that. And the laughs are leaping off the page, I mean, almost visibly. You think this is a corker, is this?
Set during the Second World War, Allo Allo tells the story of René Artois, a French cafe owner who makes the most of the German occupation.
My name is René. This is my cafe, but at the moment my life is one big problem. You see, I have to be nice to the Germans. They are my customers, they are winning the war, so if I am not nice to them, they will shoot me. I have to be nice to the resistance.
Otherwise they will shoot him for being nice to the Germans.
Coercing René to fight the good fight against Nazi oppression was Michel of the Resistance.
Listen very carefully. I shall say this only once.
Reluctantly, René agrees and provides a hiding place for the two British airmen on their way back to Blighty.
I don't want them here. This place is crawling with Germans. Well, what am I going to do with them?
One of the tricky things that we worked towards was, and hoping fervently that the audience would catch this, was when the British airmen first appear. And they don't understand us.
Where am I going to hide them?
What are they talking about?
I don't know.
And we don't understand them.
Me, hungry.
If that works, we're okay. If it doesn't, we're in trouble. But it did work.
I have a little English. I will explain. Okay, chaps, follow the boss.
Oh, God, she speaks English!
But René's real problem was keeping his steamy affairs with his waitresses secret from his wife, Edith.
René! What are you doing with your arms around that girl?
You stupid woman! Can you not see she is suffering from claustrophobia?
If I was in a clinch with René, the audience always knew that Madame Edith was going to come through the door and catch us, and then he was going to come up with some ludicrous excuse.
What are you doing on the billiard table?
You stupid woman! It's quite obvious what we were doing on the billiard table. A bulb was on the blink. Yvette was trying to screw it in tighter.
People related to that. They used to say, my God, look at him. You know, he's got all these women chasing after him. Not only that, he's getting away with it because the wife believes his excuses. So men loved his character.
Oh, my body is crying out for you.
Could you make it cry quietly? My wife is in the kitchen.
Some people say, well, why don't you, these girls are all madly in love with René, why don't you pick somebody who was terribly handsome for René? Well, the funny thing was that René isn't necessarily terribly handsome, got a slightly wonky eye, and he's overweight. But the point is, he won't mind me saying that, the point is, it is funnier that they're all mad about him. He has something going for him, whether it's garlic or whatever it is, it's that secret something that some men have. And it works very well.
Oh, I cannot stand the strain of our secret romance much longer. My hair is beginning to fall out.
I, too, have been under great strain.
Every week, I had this O-O-O-H, René. Said it every week. Oh, René. Oh, René. And then I thought, oh, well, I'll stretch it a bit. So I used to go, oh, René. Oh, René. And then one time, one of the directors asked me to hide behind the bar so that Gordon comes through the door and you hear this growl from behind. So it went, oh, René. And that became my catchphrase, really. Oh, René, René.
But it was Michel of the Resistance that was to deliver Allo Allo's most iconic catchphrase.
Now listen very carefully. I shall say this only once.
I first said, listen very carefully, I shall say this only once. In the pilot. Actually, I said it 3 times.
Right. Listen very carefully. I shall say this only once.